Hello, Sanford. It is that time of the year again. The football season is rolling around. I am Jonathan West, your host here on the Sanford Sports Radio of The Howler, your home for all Sanford College football and sports news. As Sanford is about to go into their second season of play here in college football up at the FBS level, and it is huge here. There's a lot of excitement in the air. There is a lot of excitement about exactly how good this team can be. There's also a lot of questions. Who is the starting quarterback going to be? Exactly who's going to start at the number 2 receiver spot? There's been a lot of argument between the coaching staff around that, as well as who will play on the other side of Richard Cruz. All those answers and more will be answered, I'm sure, in week 1 when the Sanford Coyotes go to UConn to face their rivals, the UConn Huskies, in one hell of a matchup. The Huskies were dominant last year. We'll see how they do this year. As let's talk about exactly where Sanford is in the preseason standings. They're number 10. They're not last in the MAC. They are not projected to be last in the MAC this year. That is enormous. They are projected to be top 10 in the MAC. That is a huge thing to believe. In just their second season, they're not going to be last. Well, projected to be at least. And we'll see if they can live up to some high expectations out of what people think they'll do here in the MAC conference. But let's talk some All-Americans. You wouldn't think we'd be talking about that, but Shane Townsend made first team All-NCAA. He wasn't alone, though, because also All-MAC first team and All-NCAA first team was Dante McPherson, the free safety who is bound to play a lot with Leslie Ingram, no longer here at Sanford after graduating. But those weren't the only All-Americans we had to talk about this year. There were a couple more. No offensive names to talk about, though, which is a little disappointing. You'd think Herb Fellows, the man wearing number 1 out on that field, would have been respected enough. Sadly, not so lucky. Elliott Flowers, though, the big defensive tackle, got some love. He was voted second team All-MAC, not NCAA, and the leader of that defense, Trey McLaughlin, as well. Luckily, the special teams got a little love as well, as Tracy Weaver was elected second team All-MAC. So a lot of All-Americans, 5 to be precise. But let's talk about possibly the future now of Sanford, some recruits, because Coach Wolf has done something nobody thought even remotely would happen. He's going after the number 1 quarterback in the nation, Justin Johnson. This man has high praise from a lot of schools. I don't think Johnson's going to be looking the way of Sanford when schools like LSU, Notre Dame, USC, and others are looking his way. Now, that's just my take on it. Who knows what Johnson's thinking? However, there are some names to think about here. And remember, Dylan Trevor, Casey Trevor, and if I'm correct here, I believe it's, Sam Trevor. The Trevor Trio are 3 kids to keep in mind. They are hometown boys from Sanford, Maine. Coach Wolf really wants to bring them in here. Jackson Stone, another name, a kicker. With Tracy Weaver graduating this year, Coach Wolf wants to have a kicker in. Maybe a true freshman. Maybe he sits a year and they let the punter kick. I don't know. Maybe Sammy Carter has a big enough leg to kick some field goals. There are a lot of names to look at this year. One of which, though, and we'll talk more about this as the highlights of practice play for you folks on the website. Jacoby Jones, a young running back that Coach Wolf really wanted to target, did not even want to have talks with Sanford. And from all accounts, I was in the conference call during the situation with Jacoby Jones. From what Coach Wolf is stating, Jones did not believe he had any chance of reaching the pros if he went to Sanford. He did not believe he had a chance at becoming a pro running back, and he didn't believe that there was any pro potential that could come out of Sanford College. So, Jacoby Jones not even interested. well, it's his loss, as there are plenty of pro potential talent here on this roster, including running back Claude Fleming, the true freshman who's going to get a chance to impress a lot this year and get a chance to really showcase that style of workhorse back that Coach Wolf wants here at Sanford. Tanner Patrick got a lot of reps, the true freshman quarterback, with the first team. However, there hasn't been a decision made as of now. I would expect game day will have a decision on the starting quarterback, the number 2 receiver, which from what I'm hearing is favored to be true freshman Rob Thomas, and the number 2 corner, which from all outlooks looks to be either Ronnie Hansen or it could possibly be another true freshman, Flash Gibson. So we'll have to find out more come this Saturday and week 1 game day. A lot of questions, and a lot of questions on if this team can be successful this year. A lot of the fans, from what I've been hearing through social media and every which way you see, is them talking about 4 to 5 games. That's where they think we can go. Personally, I think if this team plays hard enough and they play smart, I can see a bowl berth this year. Not much more than that, but a bowl berth nonetheless. This team has to fight for victories, and they can't make mistakes. That's going to be the key point this season. I'm sure they'll drive it home. As you've been listening to the Howler here on the Sanford Sports Radio, I'm Jonathan West. I will see you folks this Saturday for the opening game against UConn. Hello, Sanford, and welcome to the University of Connecticut here at Rentschler Field. I had to ask one of the people here in UConn actually how to pronounce that before we got underway here. But we are here finally. College football is back. I am ecstatic to be back up here in the box calling this game here on the Sanford Sports Radio. It is exciting. Sanford starts off the year with the rivalry game. The UConn Huskies and the Sanford College Coyotes one-on-one. It doesn't get much more exciting than rivalry week to start the year. But Sanford is looking for a big boost in momentum here with a big upset victory. They're looked as the underdogs here this week, and they are not looked to win this game. A lot of the experts, as they like to call themselves, don't think Sanford has much of a chance. Personally, don't sleep on these kids. They have practiced too long and hard for this. Coach Wolf, I'm sure, has got them ready, and this team is ready to fight. I can guarantee you from what I've seen from practice. Question is, who are the starters at certain positions as we are underway here? Lewis McMahon will return this one. He's going to get a couple blocks up front. He's going to take it around that left side. He is a dangerous man up past the 40 to the 42. Good return, McMahon. As 1st and 10, it looks like Parker Dillon is the man under center. So the senior quarterback gets the start. He was initially the starter last year as a first down run there from Claude Fleming to start his Sanford career. But Dillon getting the opportunity early here, and that's an interception as Summers makes the pick. That's not a good way to start, Dillon. You had issues last year. You can't be doing it now. Parker Dillon threw a numerous amount of touchdowns, interceptions last year, which got him benched for Dante Anderson. From what I've heard from Coach Wolf, he would like to do a 2-quarterback set here with a speedy quarterback along with Dillon, as that's a drop there, as Bryant Sheriff's unable to hit his target. As Sheriff's throws, connects with Bloom here on 2nd and 5, but as I was saying, it is a 5-yard connection there, and I'm sorry, that makes it 3rd and 5. I'm all over the place here. It's too exciting for week 1. As 3rd and 5, and Brian Sheriffs goes down. That, my friends, is Elliott Flowers, the big defensive tackle, makes the play. As Parker Dillon back on the field, as I was saying, 2-quarterback set is what we might see, as Bradford with a great reception and run 25 yards for the fullback. And it looks like we're seeing a bit of that 2-quarterback situation. Tanner Patrick in the speedster, the true freshman, taken off on the option for a 7-yard gain. As Dillon is checked back in here in the shotgun on 2nd and 3, they hand off to Fleming, and he is dropped behind the line. That's a loss of 2. They're excited for Claude Fleming, though. They think there's a lot of potential in him and believe he can be an all-star here in college football. As a nice catch there by Tremaine Dingle over the middle. That's a 9-yard gain and a first down. 1st and 10 here out of the I for him. That's Nigel McTaggart in the ball game. And he's going to get a great carry for 14 and a first. That is a very nice run there for McTaggart as they're now in the red zone. The Coyotes look to strike quick as there's true freshman receiver Robert Thomas, 13 yards. The coaching staff just likes to call him Rob, so I'll do the same here. As Rob Thomas with a big catch as Parker Dillon has been perfect since throwing that pick. As he connects with Bradford, that's a touchdown! Sanford draws first blood. It is a big touchdown for Antoine Bradford as Parker Dillon gets his first passing touchdown of the year. Good drive from this Sanford offense. 1st and 10 for the Huskies now as Sheriffs takes off. He's got mobility, and he finds enough room to nearly get the first down. Inches short. That was Joe Erving that caught him from behind. The big true freshman defensive tackle. As they do the fullback fake, halfback toss, and they're going to give Arkell Newsome the first. I didn't think he had it. That might be challengeable, but no challenge coming in. And Coach Wolf as Sheriffs throws here, and wide open is Tyreek Beals. As Beals with 38 yards and a big first down, nearly taking the Huskies into the red zone. 1st and 10 as the no huddle continues. Newsome found some room but gets dragged down by Townsend. That's Shane Townsend with the tackle. As Sheriffs to throw on 2nd and 8, he connects with McLean, and he gets enough for the first inside the 10 and down at around the 7. 1st and goal here in the offset I. They go play action. Quick throw off the back foot, and it's incomplete for Sheriffs. Coverage was Flash Gibson, the true freshman corner. A lot of true freshmen playing this year. We also have true freshman defensive end Deshaun Hollis starting opposite of Townsend, and a short run there from Ron Johnson. And Sheriffs to throw here, 3rd and goal. He connects with Ron Johnson, and he is in the end zone. That is Jason Turner, who is starting at strong safety this season, and that is a big touchdown for UConn to tie up this ball game. As that's going to bring a tie game here with 2.5 remaining in the first quarter. Now Sanford's got to rebuttal. As play action here, Dillon throwing it up, and I'm not sure if that was intended for Fellows or Costello, but a 30-yard reception by Herb Fellows. He is a smart man to turn his head when he did. He turned his head in time to see that football, able to bring it down, and that's a big 30-yard gain for the man wearing number 1. 1st and 10 here for Dillon as he hands off to Fleming. Fleming can't find much room but gains 5 on that carry. They really like what they've got in true freshman Claude Fleming. Dillon hands back off to Fleming on the draw, but he can't find much room. He'll get it 1 to 2 yards on that carry as he takes a big hit there. 3rd and 3 now is Dillon in the offset I, and he's going to hand off to McTaggart. He got some nice blocks and cut inside. That's going to be 5 and a first down. The running game, he's showing a lot of progress today. As the first quarter is coming to a close soon, and Fellows can't hang on to that pass, as that was a surefire first down, but Fellows just couldn't hang on. 2nd and 10 is Tanner Patrick to throw. He's hit as he throws, and it's picked off. Levenberry. That is E.J. Levenberry, who's going to take it back. I believe I saw some laundry get thrown out, though, indeed. What's the call? It'll be coming back, luckily, as a clipping penalty on the Huskies on Bryce McAllister. A disappointing interception by the true freshman Tanner Patrick. He was hit as he threw, which caused the poor throw. As down goes Arkell Newsome after a gain of 2. No huddle continues here for UConn. This may be the last play of the first. As Beals catches the ball, and that's going to be a gain of 8. They can't get enough for the first down. They might have enough time for one more play. They hand off to Newsome, and he goes down after a gain of 1. That will take us to the end of the first quarter. It is all tied up at 7 apiece here early for Sanford and Connecticut. You are listening to the Sanford Sports Radio. I am Jonathan West. We'll have more after this. Welcome back to the ball game, folks. It's 7 all here for Sanford and UConn. As Sheriff's dropping back here. He's finding running room. He gets dragged down, though, by Jason Turner. Good play. The backup free safety playing strong this year. They feel they want their best 2 safeties on the field at one time. And there goes Sheriff taking off, and that's going to be a 21-yard gain. A big run for the UConn quarterback. 1st and 10 now in the pistol formation with this no huddle continuing. Sheriffs goes to the screen for Beals. He's brought down quick. That is the man who's got the speed, Flash Gibson. His name lives up to his speed, folks. Believe you me. 2nd and 8. Hollis pressuring Sheriffs a bit around that left side, but that's Hergé Mayala. One of the toughest names I've ever had to call, in my opinion. But he gets a gain of about 3 as it's 3rd and 3 now, and Arkell Newsome can't go anywhere as Ronnie Hansen was there to stop him. As the kick is up for the field goal, and it is no good. That is wide right, folks. A huge miss by UConn. That is enormous as Tanner Patrick out here early in the pistol as he hands off to Fleming. And what I believe was a possible option. Fleming takes it up for a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 now is Dillon back in the ball game. Handoff goes to McTaggart as the 2 former starters check into the ball game here, and that's a nice carry for about only 2. 3rd and 5 now is Dillon in a 5-wide set. He looks to throw, connects with Harrison Frazier, and that's going to be enough for the first. Just enough as he gains 6. So this drive will continue. Shotgun formation for Dillon as he's setting up a screen for Fleming, but doesn't go far. Only a gain of 1 as UConn had it measured out pretty quickly there. They were all over Fleming. 2nd and 9. As Dillon to throw, connects with Fellows. He hangs on to this one and gets just about enough for the first. They'll call him just a couple inches short of the mark. 3rd and inches in the I form. They go right up the gut to Fleming, and he fights. That's more than enough. 6 yards and a first down for your Coyotes. 1st and 10 here as this second quarter is going by in a flash. As Dillon to throw, he hooks up with Fellows, wide open field in front of him. That is the big play that Herb Fellows can put on for you, folks. That's why he's number 1. The deep in route turns into a big 37-yard catch and run. Great play. 1st and 10 here inside the 15 is Dillon to throw to the end zone. It's picked off by Watkins. That one is tough to watch as Watkins just sat down waiting to see where Dillon was going to go. He wanted Fellows, but intercepted in the end zone. As Sheriffs hits Newsome here on 1st and 10. That'll be a gain of 4, setting up a 2nd and 6 upcoming. No huddle continues here. 2nd and 6 under center is Sheriff's man in motion is the tight end. As Sheriff throws quickly as he gets hit, and Beals takes a shot for his 6 yards. That was a huge shot thrown. I believe it was Turner that threw it. I didn't get a good look. Possibly Richard Cruz. As Sheriff takes off on the option on 3rd and inches, he'll have the first down and more for UConn with the 8-yard gain. As 1st and 10 here, shotgun formation for the UConn Huskies as Sheriff's to throw. He can't connect with his man, overthrows him by just a bit, as Townsend was the man causing a little bit of pressure. 2nd and 10. Man in motion once again is the tight end, moving to the right as Sheriff's to throw. Tried to hit Mayala, but his hands just couldn't bring it in. That's a really bad drop for UConn, as it's now 3rd and 10. Chance here for the Sanford defense as Sheriff's to throw takes a shot as he gets it off, and that was nearly picked off by Richard Cruz. He had it in his hands, but couldn't bring it down. As UConn to punt, McMahon to return. And he's going to try and find room. He finds it around that left side. Up past midfield. Nearly to the 40. They'll take it from the 42. As play action for Dillon. He'll go deep. That's Fellows again. 1st down as we're back in the red zone, folks. 1st and 10. A minute and a half remains here in the half. As a nice carry by Claude Fleming on the pitch outright. That's going to be a gain of 8. 2nd and 2 now is Dillon in the single back. They go to Fleming again on the pitch, but he's going to lose 2 this time. Big hit by Junior Joseph. 3rd and 4, half a minute left in the half. Dillon hooks up with Dingle. That's in the end zone. Touchdown, Coyotes. Jermaine Dingle picks up his first touchdown of the year. And what I believe, if I'm correct, his first touchdown of his career is I believe he didn't even have a single touchdown reception last year. I could be wrong. It's been a long year since football. As 1st and 10 here for UConn, they try to make something happen here before the end of the half as a 9-yard reception for Aaron McLean. 2nd and 1. Sheriff's under center. He's going to drop back. Pressure incoming. That's Shane Townsend who forces the pressure. Sheriff's just got the ball off. Almost a big sack. 3rd and 1. Sheriff's goes play action here. Catches McLean as he's caught over the middle. They'll have to take another timeout. 15 yards for the for the Huskies. 1st and 10 here. 13 seconds. Sheriff's to throw. Connects with Bloom as he's pushed out of bounds. That's a 4-yard gain. They'll still have 9 seconds left here. 2nd and 6, and this first half is almost completed. Sheriff to the screen to Newsome. He's got a 1st down and out of bounds. Gain of 9. They're nearly in field goal range, though they already missed one. And they're going to go for another one here. 4 seconds to go in the half. And it's no good. It's short. McMahon's going to return it. Can he? Can he do it? Up past the 40? Well, up near the 40, and he's dropped at it. Nonetheless, nice return to end the half. That was some close to a return stuff there. But we'll head into halftime. Sanford's up on top, 14-7. As you are listening to the Sanford Sports Radio, your second half will be back here in just a bit. It's the second half of play, folks, and UConn has the ball to start off here. As Sanford up early, 14-7, and Newsome going to take a screen here, as he's going to pick up enough for the first 13 yards, brought down by Jason Turner. And the no huddle continues here for the UConn Huskies. They're in the shotgun. Sheriff's to throw. He goes back to Newsome, and that's going to be a 1-yard gain. Newsome hasn't been as big of a threat as he was last year to this defense. So that's a very big positive. 2nd and 9 now is Sheriff's to throw. He connects with Tyreek Beals, and that's going to be enough for the first. He kept 1 foot in bounds from that 12-yard reception. 1st and 10 under center. Sheriff's to throw. There was a lot of pressure coming in. Mayala couldn't hang on. That's a drop. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10 as Gibson was a little bit behind him. 2nd and 10. Sheriff's Hooks up with the wrong color jersey. That's true freshman flash. Gibson, interception. The freshman gets his first career pick, and that is great. A lot of the coaching staff thought they wouldn't get a chance to bring this kid in this season. Luckily, they were able to get him during the offseason. He committed here to Sanford, and he gets his first pick here in week 1 as Costello picks up 9 yards there on that reception. 2nd and 1, the handoff goes to Claude Fleming, and Fleming finds room up the middle for 7. That's going to be enough for the first down. Fleming having a nice start to his Sanford career. Has a big hit there on Nigel McTaggart there on 1st and 10, and he is dropped at the line for a gain of nothing. 2nd and 10, Fleming's back in, but they're going to the option, and Dillon couldn't find any room to run. That is a loss of 2. Junior Joseph once again on the tackle. Dillon now to throw here. He's going deep. And that one was nearly intercepted. Not enough juice on it. John Robinson almost came down with that one. Sanford has to punt now. They're going to go 1st and 10 here for UConn. They had the offset eye as that was nearly intercepted by Richard Cruz. He's had 2 chances now at interceptions. Couldn't come down with either. 2nd and 10 now. Sheriffs. Looks to throw. Connects with Tyreek Beals near the sideline. That's going to be enough for the first, though. That's going to be a gain of around 12. 1st and 10 with this no huddle continuing. Sheriffs to throw. And it's a short connection to Alec Bloom, but he can't hang on. As that is a big drop, and it is 2nd and 10. Myers, the man in motion. Handoff goes to Newsome around the right side, but brought down by Richard Cruz. He's been around just about every ball carrier so far today. 3rd and 9, and this is a big play here for the Huskies. The Sanford defense has done well as Sheriffs connects with Tyreek Beals, and he gets up more than enough for the first, and he was powering through a number of defenders as he powered through Jason Turner there. Beals closing in on the 100-yard mark today. Sheriffs to throw again. He checks it down to Newsome. That's going to be a gain of 2 as this clock continues to tick. 2nd and 8. As Sheriffs goes play action. Pressure incoming as Sheriffs takes off. He's got free running room. And he's going to get a big gain of 20. They're inching closer to the red zone here as nobody could get to Sheriffs at all. 1st and 10 here as Sheriffs connects with McLean, and that's going to be enough for the first down, a gain of 11. This is now a red zone drive for the Huskies. The handoff quickly goes to Arkell Newsome. He's found room around that left side, and that is enough for the touchdown. 14-yard touchdown by Newsome into the end zone. It's about to be a tie ball game, folks. It was simply just good blocking on UConn's part, and Newsome was able to use his speed to get to the end zone quick enough. As it's now back on to Sanford's offense as a 5-yard carry once again by Claude Fleming. He's had a solid day, averaging 4.2 yards per carry so far. It's a handoff once again to Fleming. He's going to gain 3 on that. 3rd and 2 upcoming. Under center is Dillon in the I form. They're going to go to McTaggart. Nice blocking, allowing him to find room. That's a big run down to the 40. Good run by Nigel McTaggart. So now Patrick comes in here at their own 40. He's going to throw, and he hooks up with Joseph. You gotta be kidding me. Another interception by Sanford. As Tanner Patrick throws his second of the day, he has not been able to throw a pass. As Junior Joseph has been the big playmaker for this defense for UConn. Sheriff's now back on offense. Hands off to Arkell Newsome. Luckily, McPherson comes down to drop him for a loss of 3. 2nd and 13, this third quarter coming to a close shortly. A minute and a half remains. Arkell Newsome with a big gain of 11 there off that check down. 3rd and 2, this no huddle continues, and Sheriff's taking off. He can't get caught by the defenders, and that's going to be a gain of 4, enough for a Husky first down. McLaughlin and a number of defenders tried to get to him. As Sheriff's once again able to connect with his man, that's Mayala. And Mayala a gain of 7, as this team has just gotten a full head of steam now. 2nd and 3, Sheriff's. Wanted some type of possible play fake, I'm guessing, but Sheriff's takes off. Can't gain anything, as it was Hollis, McPherson, and another jersey, I couldn't see the number, that brought him down there. As Sheriff's hooks up with Mayala, though, on 3rd and 3. That's a 5-yard gain. That'll be enough for a Husky first down. Taking it from the 17-yard line here. Sheriff's dropping back. As there's Beals, and that's going to be a gain of 7, brought down by McLaughlin. 2nd and 3, under center is Sheriff's. He's going to hand off Newsome with enough for the first down at around the 4 or 5 yard line. They're getting far too close for comfort to this end zone. Handoff here by Newsome. That might be the last play of the third quarter, only a gain of 1. As indeed it will take us to the end of the third. Tie ball game as the third quarter comes to a close, 14-all. Sanford needs to find a way to just stop making mistakes. You've been listening to Sanford Sports Radio. Your fourth quarter is up after this. It's the fourth quarter of play, folks, here on the Sanford Sports Radio. Sanford and UConn tied at 14. But this tie's been broken. Tyreek Beals with a 4-yard touchdown reception. UConn's taking their first lead of the day. As they kick off here to Lewis McMahon. He's going to return this one. Does he have a big return in him? Able to avoid one defender. And he gets up past the 40, but there is a flag. It'll be clipping on Sanford. More importantly, on Jamarcus Fowler, one of the backup linemen. As 1st and 10 now for Dillon as he's got to throw, find somebody. He finds Rob Thomas. 14-yard catch for the true freshman. Good catch, Thomas. 1st and 10 with a new set of downs as Patrick takes off on the option. That's a first down run. Good job, Patrick. 14 yards on that one. Kid can take a hit too, it seems. It's 1st and 10 here. Dillon to throw. Wide open, Fellows. And that is the big play needed. Fellows 35 yards. Week 1 is his week, it seems. It's another big week 1 for Herb Fellows. 1st and 10 here. Handoff goes to Claude Fleming as that is a loss of 4 as he goes down. Kevin Murphy, the man on the tackle. 2nd and 14, JP Mayo, the man in motion as Dillon connects with Costello. 20-yard reception as that will set them up inside the 10. 1st and goal here as the handoff goes to Fleming. He is caught though quickly. No gain there. He was dropped at the line. 2nd and goal. Shotgun formation. Dillon to throw. He checks down to Costello. He went the wrong way to start. That's going to be a loss of 1. Costello's got to play smarter. As it's 3rd and goal, they need a touchdown here. They go to the screen as Fleming with field. Touchdown, Sanford. It's tied up again, pending the extra point at least. As a great throw off the back foot of Parker Dillon and Fleming takes it in, 21-21. First and 10 here. Sanford on defense as Newsome takes the handoff. That's going to be a gain of 10 for Arkell Newsome. They'll give him enough for the first as the no huddle continues here. This defensive line looking to get some more pressure here on Sheriffs as Bloom able to pick up the reception, but he loses one on that reception. 2nd and 11 now. Under center is Sheriffs. Man in motion is the tight end, and Myers as Sheriffs throws across the middle, batted away. Good job, Hansen. Ronnie Hansen with a big play there. The deflection is it's 3rd and 11. And that one bounces off the helmet of, I believe, yes indeed, McLaughlin. If he had gotten that pick, that would have been huge. As back to the offense we go, Claude Fleming with a gain of 3. This offense needs to play smart. They can't be making mistakes now, as it's 3rd and 7 following the no gain by Nigel McTaggart. 3rd and 7, 5 wide set. Dillon to throw. He wants Costello, but picked up by Bryce McAllister. That is the 5th turnover of the day for Sanford, and that may be the killer. 3 interceptions by Parker Dillon. He wanted Costello, couldn't hit him. It's 1st and 10 for UConn with 2.5 remaining. Arkell Newsome with a nice stiff arm that got him 14 yards there in a new set of downs. 1st and 10 now as Sheriff's dropping back. He tried to take off, but he goes down. And look at this, that's young Gabriel Connor, the young defensive tackle who comes in on rotation. Great play by the young man. 2nd and 13 now after the Connor sack. As Sheriffs tries to connect, he finds Alec Bloom. Brought down by Jason Turner. 1st and goal now, just above 2 minutes left on the clock. Pitch goes out to Arkell Newsome. He's brought down by McLaughlin. Loss of 2. Good play, Trey, the leader of that defense. As Sanford starting to take their timeouts to give them time when UConn scores here. Another timeout here by Sanford. Is Newsome able to gain just a couple. 3rd and goal, man in motion is the tight end Myers. Sheriffs to throw. Looking to the back of the end zone. And how did Beals catch that? Flash Gibson was all over him. Somehow Tyreek Beals scores. It's 28-21. This offense has to make a play as Fellows gets the reception and the big play. That is it. Play action. The deep end. That play has worked extremely well for Fellows today. That deep end has given a lot of big momentum to this offense. 1.5 minutes remains. They throw. That's Costello off his hands. Duran, you need to hold on. As 2nd and 10, Dillon to throw out a shotgun. And he misfires. He was looking for Fellows again, but overshoots his man by a mile. 3rd and 10. Dillon to throw. He connects with Costello. This time he holds on. 14 yards and a 1st down. There's still some life. Under a minute remains. Dillon to throw. Deep ball to the end zone. Double coverage, and it was nearly intercepted. Marche Terry almost came down with it. Luckily, he didn't. Dillon to throw again. They set up the screen for McTaggart. He can't gain much, only a gain of 3. This is what we talk about when you talk about coming to the wire. Sanford takes their last time out. As wide open as Fellows on 3rd and 7. 1st down for 19 yards. They're inside the 10. 191 yards today for Herb Fellows on 7 receptions. Another huge week 1 as first and goal. Dylan to throw out of shotgun. It's batted away as he was looking for Costello again. Second and goal. Offset eye, Dylan running to his right. He finds McTaggart. That's going to be out of bounds there after McTaggart runs out for a loss of 1. Third and goal. Dylan needs to find his man rolling out. He's trying to take it himself, but goes out of bounds. This is the game, folks. 4th and goal. Handoff. They wanted the option. They brought Tanner Patrick in, but UConn knew what was going on. They dropped Tanner Patrick, and UConn wins. It's a heartbreaker, folks. Week 1 was so close to being in Huskies control. Or I'm sorry, Coyotes control. This was a game the Coyotes shouldn't have lost. It was Coyote football early on, but the mistakes were too big to come back from. They almost did it. And one bright spot, this team is a lot more competitive than what we saw last year. This game last year was entirely out of hand. This team couldn't compete with UConn. This year, they only lose by a touchdown, and the argument isn't going that this should have been a Sanford victory. It's a tough loss to take to start the season. Now they're going to their bye week next week, a very early bye week. Get their focus in, find out what they did wrong,